So, welcome back to the garage, I would say, and we are here to reminisce about the thing we just played. And it was the last session that ended kind of sticky the last time. But we'll talk about Candlekeep as a whole and kind of try to see if it's worth it. Was it fun? How was it for you guys? And with me today, as was the previous 3 times, is Antionio, Dora, Gabe, and Josip. Today playing as Antionio, Dora, Gabe, and Josip. So welcome, guys. How you all doing?
I'm not gonna comment.
Pretty good.
I shouldn't say anything.
Dora was hangry a bit, but she ate. So hopefully she's not hangry anymore.
I guess we'll see.
Are you gonna tease me throughout
Gotta get
the
that
whole
blood
video?
pressure up.
What?
Are you gonna tease me throughout the whole video?
Yes.
No.
Probably.
Because
What?
I can revenge, you know.
No.
I got skills.
We
Oh
don't.
my god.
Oh, that sounds terrifying.
Nah.
This is now a prank stream.
Well, the only one who does a good prank, it's Bro, so Antonio. Yeah.
What can I say? I have a natural born talent.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's.
You made
so
all our hands sticky.
my idea was to go around the table and just like we can all like tell to the audience what our favorite moments of the adventure was, if there was, or just what was your like favorite thing about the adventure. And let's start with Antonio. Let's not start with. I was going to say Dora, but I'm gonna go Antonio on this.
Yeah.
Fine.
So I've played a lot of different adventures in my time, and I've DM'd a bunch of adventures myself. And I specifically don't look at any of the Wizards of the Coast published adventures unless my players want me to lead that, because I don't want to spoil it for myself. But one thing I liked about Candlekeep Dekonstruktion, it's very fast-paced. So decision making really comes into play in a very fast way, where you have to like challenge your players to be thinking outside of the box and seeing what do you wager more. Do you wager a very dumb idea but just to get over a problem quickly, or do you want to like take it slow and then risk the tower launching into space? It's very fast because I'm guessing it's timed. So what I liked mostly about it is like the fast pace really made it so that we, at least from my perspective, all of the players needed to like come up with solutions very quickly, because there was always something happening. Like we couldn't stay in one place for more than 10 minutes because we knew some shit was going to happen. But probably my favorite moment was that wild magic that was going on for like a whole minute. That was just a weird roll.
Minute and a half.
Minute and a half, yeah. That whole encounter was, are we going to like climb the tower, enter from the top? What are we doing? And then Million, looking at Andraste as the face of the group, as the captain, as he's very young and very naive, is like, should I break the door down? And she's like, yes, do it. It's going to be fun. And then all shit goes loose. Was probably my favorite moment to like show the Chaos Crew in its own glory. That moment, I think, like specializes the Chaos Crew in one single sentence.
Yeah,
But yeah, other than that, I liked it a lot.
What I would like add to yours would be that we kind of when we had that session 0, not the one that we filmed, but like just when we talked about what it's going to be like, it almost immediately sounded like it's going to be chaotic. So you kind of just you're kind of clicked on that chaotic space. I don't know. It just went naturally from there. I would say.
I think we all like wanted to play very chaotic characters and see, because you said this isn't a very serious adventure, and we decided to say like, screw it, we're not going with the classic fantasy slash and grind. We're going to go with a more fun approach and just see what's going to happen and just enter this adventure without any knowledge about anything else. But I'm glad we like agreed upon the setting so we could like discuss our stories and everything. And it really felt like, at least from my perspective, I don't know about you guys if you got to add anything, but from my perspective, I really felt like the characters have spent some time together. Like that aspect of the whole adventure was really well done and very intact from like all of you, and I love that. I thought all the players and like all the interactions between players I thought were absolutely amazing, because obviously we discussed that a lot, like how could our characters like be known of each other and other things, but I think we did a very good job on that part.
It was good preparation. So let's jump to Gabe. Let's see what our friend from the US has to say about all of this experience he had.
I'm so glad you didn't ask me first, because I was like, holy shit, there's so much that we did. What you know, it's like name a color. It's like yeah, I'd say so. The approach that also hella spoilers for everything are about to happen. So if you're away from your computer, I'll give you like 5 seconds to come and pause the video.
I mean, I'm guessing people that watched the gameplay already are spoiled. So
the approach that I had to Boyan Bubbletop was sort of like already jaded, young, like jaded and naive, but also like trying to keep his life on a track, but like for all intents and purposes it was off the rails at that point. That's why like when it came down to it, I was like pulling this fucking lever, man. I was going.
I think Lillian looked at Boyan as like the father of the group, the only one that was kind of like keeping his cool and trying to like at least do some good.
It's funny
we
because
corrupted him by the end of the adventure.
It's funny because Nillian de-aged. It was about like half of Boyan's age in the span of like 15 minutes, and like however many times that's happened maybe in the past, it's like good thing you started off being 100 years old, because if it was me that was a sorcerer and I was 17, that canonically
you would have been a baby by then, like 7 years
I would have. Yeah, it was like you de-aged 8 years. I would have been 9
I
years
think it
old.
was like 8. Yeah, it was 1 and then 7 or 8. Yeah, so 8. Yeah, I think so.
I would have been 9 years old. So thank goodness. But like the fact that you lost like half my age, but and you like still looked up to me for, I don't know. It was such a funny.
Yeah, because I mean, Nillian has a negative wisdom modifier, which I wanted to implement, as in is a very naive individual, like trusts whatever everyone says. The moment where we had that interaction in the alleyway, where he told me like to actually like say, hey, I'm trash at what I did at school, the Kobold Soul does it better. Nillian felt that that energy coming from Boyan, like you can do it as well if you try hard enough. So Nillian being very naive and very young in his elven age, and 100 years in elven is, I think, equivalent to like 20-25 in human, I think so. So he's still fairly young, and like he hasn't like done very many things in his life except like party and, I don't know, visit different taverns. So like when Boyan came into his life, it was like, okay, this guy is very smart and he knows things and he knows how to talk to people. I should probably stick to him just so I don't get in trouble.
it's interesting to investigate that concept of mortality between the races a little bit.
Yeah.
We never like acknowledged it directly, but that's sort of what was happening there. And
Well-
I felt it from the other members too. Like I was just gonna say Andraste, like at the end, most notably, like letting Boyan be basically the bodyguard. Like a 17-year-old is her bodyguard, and she has no qualms about that whatsoever. And then there's Samael like desperately just trying to keep him alive.
We talked about like Andraste in general, and we
I mean,
discussed.
Andraste is actually secretly a mother. Just gonna point it out. I wrote it down. Yeah, so that was her like maturity element, which she hides very well. So
Obviously.
you never know who you're playing with. But yeah, it's a good point. For playing a wild magic sorcerer, definitely be a race that can live 800 years instead of 80, because
Yeah, because you'll die pretty quick probably. So
Oh, now I'm
But-
a baby.
there's also, I think there's I was looking at that because one of my players wants to now play a wild magic sorcerer. I looked and there's like one that like casts reincarnation on you in case you die. So literally you can be you can be playing any race basically whenever you want. It's random. But me and Dora were talking about Andraste. That Andraste is the kind of character that's like, I wouldn't say evil, but more like bad. That she winks at you with both eyes. That's how bad she is. That's her like energy. She's like very energetic and very impulsive in what she does because she knows she can handle things. So
yeah, let's be real. Like, she kicked ass. She dealt a lot of damage when she wanted to, when she didn't feel like, oh, I'm gonna charm this guy, I'm gonna charm this guy.
So we are obviously transitioning to Dora. Dora, what would you say? What's the best takeaway?
Best part?
Oh,
Yeah,
best
it's
part.
probably no, it's you guys. It's like I like how you. No, I'm being honest, even though I'm a bit bitchy today. I actually like it. I liked playing with you guys because everybody was so into role playing, relaxed, fun, chaotic. I like all these elements. We are as a player group a good match, and with Davor as a DM, it's freeing. I don't know. I could play my character being the horrible person at the same, living like Boki on the front to take damage, and also like do stupid shit. Like, I don't know, what did she do? I didn't do much stupid shit, did I? I don't know.
No.
She mostly kicked ass. I like the Vjekoslav.
Okay.
Yeah, that
That was not planned. As most of the things.
That is why I like it. Like, you can't plan this shit. It was so good. And for the first moments, I just stood to the side, ready to go to the next room, and then they started initiating Vjekoslav into kicking Cobalt Soul, and then I joined.
at that point, I think Andraste was like downstairs, and it was just the three of us up there.
Yep.
While Andraste was like waiting downstairs, like minding her own business. There's me reading. Nillian is reading the book, while the two of our most chaotic guys apparently are indoctrinating a random cultist to become an actual force of good. Like that was. I expected it to go that way.
He didn't do much. He just covered for the last fight. I was
He carried the party. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, he was indoctrinated for like whole of 10 minutes, so it's gonna take a while, I would say. But yeah, he wasn't trying
Vjekoslav kind of disappointed, but it's okay.
No, he did not. I think Vjekoslav is like our group child that we all like molded into existence to be a good person. He like picked up everything from
9
Like the
points.
only
Like,
good person in the group.
Let's not put the
he
weak
had
guy at front.
it's literally one sting from that
Yep.
skitter widget, whatever it was, would like
Kill.
kill it. So if like I have no idea how he like managed to survive that small skitter widget we managed to fight off because those did like
Because
10,
we all
15
helped
damage.
him. No, we helped him. We all helped.
Yeah.
You were just holding it like.
Yeah.
"Oh, hit
He
it."
couldn't. I was taking, or Boyan was taking all the hits in that situation.
I
We
mean,
were-
Gwen's lucky to be alive. I was like from 76 or whatever hit points to 59, and I didn't go below that. I was at
Yeah,
59.
I had the least. I had like such few hit points. As a halfling, I was like, this makes sense. I have probably like half the amount of blood that you all have in your bodies. It's like I lose a little bit, and I'm like close to passing out. So
Yeah, it's like if Nelian was a human. It's like you lose 7 years. Oh fuck! It's like
Yeah.
halfling. You
Yeah,
lose a little bit of blood. Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, if I was human, I have no idea what would have happened there. If
I
Nillian
would
turns
take you
significant-
by the hand. No worries. I would take you by the hand and be the mama and be the captain.
Yeah, I was about to ask, would if Nillian was turned into a child of like, let's say 8 to 10 years old, would
We still have his powers.
that probably yes, but would Andraste's motherly instinct kick in then,
Yeah, probably.
seeing that there is a child in danger now?
Yeah.
that would.
I
be
mean,
fun.
this part about her
be
having a secret daughter that is well educated and not at all like a pirate that her mother is makes her proud. So
Oh.
she kind of doesn't want to be a good person, but she wants others to do well, I guess, and not
Mhm.
repeat her mistakes. It also gives her an excuse to do shit,
I mean, I can
to
see.
do anything she wants.
I can see Andraste having this arc maybe similar to the not arc in
Yeah, that's what I was about to mention.
Yep.
Yeah.
in the critical role.
Although I don't think I would enjoy playing a motherly figure for too long.
Well,
Yeah,
you
we
never
know.
know. You never know.
We know.
I know. I wouldn't.
I wanted
You
to say
should check-
one last thing.
Yeah.
Was that I really did enjoy like the layers, the elements that you added in there to allow us to like have to choose. Like you forced us to like really choose and like make it quick, basically.
Yeah.
And like, there was really no 100% certain way to know if we were doing the right thing at any given point. So it was like, that's where you really see a character shining through.
Yeah.
And then the ability to adapt to whatever we chose seemed like planning had went in and like thought and understanding. I think mostly understanding of our characters was very much.
I think that like the point of this adventure was mainly it's not hard. It's more to challenge the players in a thinking outside the box way and having a certain timer that you have to beat.
Well,
Which it's not like
The
Yeah,
thing-
about that, I have
the
a
thing
question
about that-
Yeah. Sure.
Please go on.
Well, my question is to Davor, basically. So, I mean, it seemed easy. Fighting seemed easy. Was it because we were like a good team to fight, or were the character
Well,
like
That's a part.
were
of
they
it.
like?
That's part of it, but I'd say it was just an easy adventure, and I have some thoughts on it about the whole Candlekeep thing, because I did play some other adventures from that book, and they don't seem to be really challenging to the players, and I did not know this before we began to play. I kind of knew this about this adventure. Particularly, it did sound like, okay, so it's gonna be a race against the clock. You had one, so when the earthquake happened, you had 1 hour to stop the launch. That's the that was the whole thing. And then, you know, you're chaotic and your role playing shine through. But you could have just gone in and just killed everybody, found the secret passageway, kill everybody again, and you're done. Basically, you could have. I mean, that's another group maybe would do it that way, which would be probably the most optimal way to do it. But this
It
is
would be
better.
taking shots at the dark. It would be
We
taking shots
did.
at the dark.
Yeah.
Not that. We just fucked the timer from the start
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's probably have to go from floor to floor, take out one
Yeah.
floor, investigate, take out the other floor,
Warren
investigate.
was
We went
like,
top to
first
bottom,
thing,
constantly
I'm
in
gonna
the
go through
niche.
the window. Like,
Yeah.
why the fuck not? But and there's a seal in the door.
Were you, Davor, were you scared when I was like, I'm going into the 3rd floor? Were you scared that I was gonna like pull the lever right then and there?
Well, a bit. I mean, I was not scared. I knew what happened because the thing is, the tower would fly off if you did not touch the lever. So, so whenever you touch the lever, actually you kind of you pause it or you stop it completely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my question is, if you like put it to coop, it stops, right?
Yeah.
So what happens if you put it back? Does the countdown continue or does it restart?
It restarts in 24 hours.
Oh,
So
I see.
the ending was just because, for shits and giggles, I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because we were not going back.
So we
Right.
kind of solved it straight away, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
because it was easy. We didn't realize at first it's gonna be so easy, and we were so careful in our first
Yeah.
session.
Yeah.
And then we realized, oh my
That's
god,
fine.
we can do
I
so
mean-
much.
I mean, we are overstating the easy part. I think the humans were easy. The scatter widgets, those things fucked us up pretty
Let's-
badly.
And the
We couldn't deal
golems.
we couldn't
Fuck
deal
you.
with the lightning golems at all. Like,
The golems were
Yeah.
actually pretty
Yeah.
nasty, but there was this monkey guy that just
I mean,
I guess we were just so.
Monkey
very
Nillian
capable.
saved us ass multiple times because the damage absorption and because he took care of the golem things.
I mean, really, I rolled really well that
Yeah,
that
I know.
session. Like all the times I couldn't bust through the door or hit anything for like 5 turns, it all like caught up with the good luck
Yeah.
on my concentration checks. I think my lowest one was like a 9, and then I failed, but I was like already at 20 HP left at the monkey, and 3 cultists were left.
Except for the
So-
second time you did poly.
Yeah,
And
that was
I
that just
I didn't say anything, but that was basically, what is it? It's a 3rd level spell slot?
4th.
4th?
Yep.
You gave me 10 HP with a 4th level spell slot, so thank you.
Nothing. I mean, I gave myself HP as well. I took like the first attack was like 20 or so damage, with
Okay,
half,
so-
10 or so, and then the
With
second
the
one was
twin, yeah.
yeah.
So
And
with,
what about the horrible rolls on that 4th level healing word? I was gonna shoot myself.
what, it
Two
was
ones
what?
and 2 1s and 2 2s.
Yeah.
happens.
That was so sad.
So Josip,
I'm just looking at it.
what was your what situation did you remember the most from the adventure?
Well, a couple things. First thing is the thing that I already mentioned, how we fucked it from the beginning and just went ass first and completely destroyed it because we
On
were
brand.
constantly on brand in initiative, and that basically slowed us down the time because we took out the whole tower in like 2 minutes or something.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, I just really found interactions and everything. The Nillian monkey was probably the greatest part of it, and the jazz around it. I just had it pictured in my head. I was just laughing like an idiot the whole time. And probably my favorite part was just at the end, just having my hands glued and watching the tower skyrocket into the sky.
I hated it.
Out.
I mean,
I was
I
laughing.
was so disappointed that we didn't
you can-
get to fly
You can
off with the
you can actually see my face when we're going out. Either I winked or something because I wanted to remember. I did something because I wanted to say it after that I was gonna check on the lever, and I was like, nah, we're not doing it. I had a feeling it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Dora, you still do have the book, I believe, so you can build your own tower and.
I have a book.
I have it.
You guys have the book.
Yeah.
Nillian got every book. Like he
Oh, yeah,
kept
what is the
all
ring?
the books to himself.
Well, you're a team. Just like tell him.
Now he takes books for himself and keeps it a secret, and that's fine.
I
They're,
like
they're only things that he can use, which is funny.
Yeah,
tattoo did not come in handy at all.
That would use a very powerful magical item for like the most dumbest reason ever.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
he would use like the Hero's Feast book just to have a nice dinner with himself while being in a hot tub. That's what he would do. That's what I feel he would like do with that powerful book. But I was going to actually ask Dora a question. Did Andraste really want to blast off,
Yeah,
considering she has a
yeah.
child, or was that just you wanting to see what happens?
It's mixed probably. I felt like it's my one-shot character. I would just wanna like go as far as I can with this one.
Yeah, because
No,
I was
but
thinking about that as well. Like, would Nillian
Dude.
actually want to do that? Would he like to
I mean,
probably
you
suicide
have a
or?
wild
guys
magic
wanna
sorcerer.
know?
You have no idea what would have happened. We could have just finished in the astral sea, like whatever.
Do you
Wait,
guys
what would
wanna,
have happened?
wanna know
Yeah.
what happens when you blast off?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do. I do at least.
I do too, because I purposely didn't use one first level spell slot for Featherfall for all of us, for that reason.
Woo!
Yeah,
Good
yeah, you as
one,
well.
nice.
So you
That's
end
my-
up in orbit, orbiting the planet. You have food for 30 days, and there are skitter widgets in the walls that will probably overrun you all at some point of your life if you manage to survive somehow with that rations.
Oh, it's certain death, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
it's-
I mean, we could jump out of orbit and try to time the Featherfall.
You would probably burn up in the orbit and stay
I
with
know,
oxygen.
I know.
Was there an explanation as to why all the skitter widgets were there? Was that a stonky thing?
So the scare widgets were also are also in that book that you found. You needed an Arcana of 25 to get all of the exploration,
Ooh.
so nobody actually got
Oh
that.
shit.
I think
Uh,
nobody could have done that. Nobody had at least +5 in that, so
So
no
if I
way.
get this right, we were
Let me
supposed
check
to
it.
be
I have no
either,
idea. I
either
think
a
I have
very
+4.
scholarly group who rolls Arcana really well to like unlock these impossible doors and see all the informations, or we were
Yeah,
just,
my
or we were
+4.
just gonna supposed to like be a good
Well-
kick-ass group to
Well,
Actually-
usually,
murder
Bardic-
everybody.
Bardic Inspiration would help there.
yeah.
True.
I mean, usually 25 is next to impossible to get anyway at any point.
Yeah.
So it's you know, it's some fun information you get if you have some luck, but it's not necessary for
Yeah.
the adventure. But the skitter widgets, actually, which the cultists did not know, are actually can reproduce, and the ring.
Oh.
Oh
Like-
no.
Pests in the wall.
The rabbits in the walls.
And the ring that Andraste got is
Oh
used,
yeah, I got the ring.
That's what I wanted to ask about.
the ring that
I'm assuming
Andraste
the
got
thing
is-
controls them, yeah.
Yeah, it controls them, but it does not control the babies that you killed.
Oh.
Oh shit.
It's like How to Train a Dragon, and I'm the alpha, and the babies hate me.
Yep.
So
I
Right.
understood that reference.
I understood that reference.
So if any skitter rigid babies were left on the grounds, then there might be infestation of them at some point in the future in Candlekeep, probably. So,
Good training grounds for vehicle slav.
Yeah. Just every day.
Would-
Kill five
Yeah,
every day.
we would hire him as a janitor, you know, as a clean the ship of a skitter widget.
so
Everyone's got to do their part.
I was just wondering about what happened to the golems that you like just threw away. Probably ended
Yeah,
up.
I was gonna ask what happened with those.
They probably ended up like crashing in some nearby roof. Like
In someone's house, yeah, while some nice families having dinner at Golem just falls
Well,
on their table.
probably
Yeah, well, the
still in
Soldiers
Candlekeep.
Academy deserves it.
Yeah.
The Soldiers Academy deserves it. Fuck those guys.
Probably like in the middle of a lecture, it's some I don't know.
Good, they can suck a fat egg.
And yeah, I don't know if the lightning golems were friendly or dead or who knows. So,
Hopefully they attacked everyone there.
yeah.
I mean, they weren't friendly to us. Although I remember that part when somebody blew off on the stairs and there was blood everywhere. I liked
That was
part.
awful.
Million yeeted the guy
So
into the
good.
golems.
So-
That was the crit for like 70 something damage that
Yep.
just obliterated that poor guy.
He
So,
had 9 hit points, he got 70.
I have another
Insane.
question for the group, basically. What do you guys think is next for the Chaos crew? Obviously, they're gonna probably unstuck themselves
I actually
somehow.
think that would be a really fun adventure, just having us all look for Universal Solvent.
No, I already thought about that. I'm ready to rip off the skin of my hands. It's
You
fine.
can't. It's
Oh.
only Universal Solvent or Wish,
Wish,
I believe.
only wish spell or like a god. can
I mean,
help
I
you
would
with
then
this?
choke Nillian to death.
Or Universal Solvent.
I'm already, I've been, as long as
I
it takes.
totally have help.
I love so much that's how I imagine the black screen for my character. Just sit on the thing, and I said hands on his head, glued together, and using mage hand to drink beer, and just doesn't give a fuck.
I want the Dragonsborn's wife to come and rescue us from these hands because it's like
It's not going to happen unless she has some universal solvent.
Make
Or
Nillian
Wish.
get some for
you
us.
never know what dragons got. Okay, it's a
Make
dragon.
Nillian get some for us and rip his fingernails off until he does.
I mean,
there-
we could glue his hands to his ass and just send him to Astral Sea.
I mean,
He
I don't
can
have
just-
any more
He
use
can
of that
float
glue,
with
so
all around him.
So, but
I think
af-
we would be able
after
to
you
escape and then come
solve
back.
the glue thing, would you guys stay together, or would I don't know, go your
Okay,
own?
Nillian.
I would say occasionally, yes. I think Nillian would venture with Samael, like
Yeah,
what they
we-
used to do.
Go off.
Maybe he would even consider asking Boyan for some tutelage about books, and spend some time in the Kobold Reserves, seeing what works there with some mentoring. But he would probably just go around with Samael, maybe Andraste if she would like to join the crew, and whoever else wants to just venture around and see what the world has to offer,
Yeah.
what new adventure
Going
awaits
from
for
down
us.
to down, tavern to tavern, just doing shit.
Yeah.
I took a bit of inspiration. I just watched The Mandalorian, and I took a bit of inspiration from their sort of creed when I was thinking about
This is the way.
Boyan's sort of perspective on life, and just like not like honor above all else, but like being genuine and
Yeah.
understanding what needs to be done to like do the right thing on as the bottom line. And he's still on his journey for making right the atrocities that he did.
Yep.
Yeah.
We would probably help you with that if you ask us. Just saying.
I think, Nillian would definitely help you with
Yep.
your own personal quest, as he is looking at you as some sort of guidance figure in his life. He would he wouldn't understand why, or why would you bother with such a thing, because life is too short to not enjoy it. But he would help nonetheless, because he respects, out of the whole group, the most one that he respects is probably Boyan. And then as the father, then Andraste as a face and as the captain of the group, and then Samael as his drinking
Wingman.
buddy. Yeah, as
Yeah.
his wingman.
We're essentially brothers, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah,
It-
I mean, Andraste
just-
would probably wouldn't make you go onto her adventures, because she, even though she wouldn't admit it openly, she does consider you friends, and she doesn't want to the people who she likes. She doesn't want to tie them up.
Okay.
So, but she would join occasionally and even help you maybe, but do a little bit of damage on a side. I don't know.
I mean, if
do
you told
something
us,
shitty.
if
But
you told
yeah,
us about your child, that would probably change Nillian's mind a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she wouldn't. She wouldn't say that to anybody because the people who she hangs out, and the all the shitty things she does, it's not safe.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
You make enemies.
Ammo.
If somebody knows, then another person knows, and it's not safe.
It's
But you know,
basically-
yeah, but
You do
I
have a
think
friend
typical
with
me.
modify memory at
That's true.
I mean, truth is, if Andraste does get very shit-faced, she could have just spilled the beans
Yeah.
like while she's drunk. I'm assuming.
No,
right?
I think this is like her last. How do I say it? Last line or something like.
Last
she-
adventure before motherhood.
No. Like this is something that she would keep. Even she could be really
I mean,
drunk, but she's
What I
Not
like
stupid.
about Andraste, if she was like shit-faced drunk and she went, I have a kid. Nobody would believe her.
Nobody would believe it,
yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I
but I was actually going to ask:
Probably on point.
is there any condition under which Andraste would feel like revealing that information to anyone, not specifically Nilian, but anyone in the group or any NPC?
have
Is there
no
a condition?
I have no idea. It would have to be, I guess, a really emotional game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a long
in
game, probably.
Yeah, kind of like that. And was not intended as such a character, although I am gonna play her again. But
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough of her. I like her, and I want to play a bit more of her. So yeah.
I mean,
Cool.
who knows? Maybe Chaos Crew will join again forces.
You never know.
How old is Andraste in human years?
She's like 30.
So
She's a half elf, so
I love. Yeah,
she
I know.
doesn't live that long.
I love
Roger.
how Boyan, the most responsible, is by far the youngest.
Yeah.
By far. Like I imagine Samael around 28.
Yeah, and that was part of it too. That like I don't know, 14, 15 years, or no, like it would be like starting at 5, so 12 years of like solid monk training, is like all the experience that he has.
Yeah.
So yes,
Which is
discipline.
why she bullies him.
He's
Yeah.
kind
She
of
like pushes
Spartan.
him into the fire.
Yeah, and I think that like
Which is why
I
she would
was-
be a bad mother. Which
I
is why
was
she's not raising her own kid.
I was learning about Boyan that he was like this is actually kind of nice to be doing fuck all with people who are funny and carefree, and like this is a side of life that was not present for him. And
I
it's
think
like kids are
sorry.
gonna be kids,
Yeah,
you gotta enjoy life like that too.
I like that. Yeah.
I think one of my favorite parts of the adventure was also all the weird references that we referenced and they just stuck. Like the Eldritch Blast, another one was just that was just like one of the classics where I think at one point you said another one, then I said another one, then Gabe and Dora and Davor all joined in. That was like a very nice ongoing meme. I think there was a couple more, but I can like the another one was like on top of my head right now.
I was sitting on something so stupid. If someone mentioned Isojar, like in front of us, it is so stupid. But I didn't get to use it. It's like the
No,
only thing
you
I
did.
can remember is the Jar Jar guy from the Planar Wars. You know the
Yeah.
play.
You had one fun
Oh my
about the Isojar.
Yeah.
The door is the jar.
The jar, yeah. Yeah,
That
but
was
my
pretty
question
Jar.
I saw the map and I was like, oh yeah, that's happening.
my question to Josip is actually, if modify memory went through, what would have happened? What would have you modified the memory as? That's like what came to my mind right now. What would have happened if modify memory went through?
That was my least favorite natural 20 that I got.
Yeah.
No,
For
why?
me as well. Well, the plan was that he came into the tower with us, that he was with us the whole time, but he has the information for it and how to take care of it, and basically he goes back with us and tells us everything.
Yeah,
That would have been awesome.
that would have been awesome. Yeah.
I would
And
have
I
made
was
him
saving
think he's a donut.
What?
Nice.
That's just me. I would have
still
made
hungry?
him think he's a donut. No,
Oh.
it's just me. I'm
So you would
always
just
hungry. I
poke a
can
hole
always
through
eat.
him with your rapier.
How would that work? Okay.
I also love Nillian, like, making him a chess figurine, and we were like, yeah, that sounds par. That's totally on brand.
That was so cruel.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Nillian has
It was
that.
like what do I say?
And I was like, do I eradicate?
psychopathic.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Like
thing
that's
is,
even beyond Andraste. She's cruel, but she's brutally cruel.
thing is, I don't know if you guys know this about Eladrin, but specifically Nillian, one of his biggest personality traits is I put on new identities as like new clothing. And
Yeah.
one of his flaws is that he's always in debt, and all the money he earns from like charlatan work he spends on like all the good shit and around. But
Does he
like
live
the
in
thing
your
about
house?
Eladrin is, from what my perspective is, his mood constantly changes, not by his will. So sometimes that's what makes him very chaotic. Is you can never predict how he's going to act in a certain situation. Like if there was a similar situation like this, he might not do the same thing.
I
But
went to
I
school
felt
with a guy like that.
I felt like in that moment, Nillian was very how do I word this? He was
Sociopathic.
very.
No, I think he was very
I
stressed.
think he was like under the influence of all the drugs that he like all the things he saw, and he was like that thing projected through his like interact with his wild Eladrin nature somehow and turned him a bit to the darker side for one split second. And after that, he like
And I would probably assume, like, you're spend like a round in Astral Sea and come back to see Boki die, essentially.
yeah.
Does he even perceive it as darkness, or is he just like I'm
No, he
hallucinating, not in touch with reality? Like this doesn't feel real either anyway. So he's a stone. He's a
He
stone
doesn't
figure.
know much about magic as magic. He just knows that he has it and that it's very uncontained, specifically interacting with his Eladrin nature, which is very chaotic, coming from the Feywild, which is a place with a lot of magical energy condensed in one spot that makes things go chaotic and change personality all the time. So what I would have done is if we even had a long rest, I would have rolled a d4 and chosen a random Eladrin counterpart to like simulate that Nillian is not a very stable individual, because it's not that he himself can do anything about it. It's something about his nature that changes him every night. So at one day he could, like when we played through the adventure, I rolled and I decided to stay with the spring Eladrin, which he was like very joyful and very playful, very prankster-like. But I think like a summer style Eladrin would be more on the fiery side, more into conflict and more into combat, while like winter would be more cold and dark, while autumn would be more calm and like more progressive in thinking and everything. So he had like 4 different personalities that would change.
If he was a real life human, he would be like constantly on drugs.
Yeah, probably. But
Not by
he doesn't
his
need
choice.
drugs.
Not
He's
by
magical.
his choice. Just
Yeah.
living the
Yeah, constantly prescribed.
outerworldly reality.
Prescribed a
Yes,
lot of
I-
stuff.
I mean, how I saw you guys, which is maybe weird considering the classes. I mean, not really, but kind of Nillian and Andraste were these more chaotic forces, and Samael and Bojan kind of were the other part that balanced out the party.
Well, I have an explanation for that, actually.
Okay.
Because I was very aware of I'm the only one that can heal. That's why I was
I
constantly
was
staring
just
in
gonna
my
say,
spell
yeah.
That's
list.
smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
was very aware of that.
yeah,
That's why I
Samael,
wasn't.
yeah, Samael knew
slapping
what
left
he
and
was
right.
going into, so he knew probably that. Okay, I know I'm a bard and I should be the chaotic one, but somebody needs to
Yeah.
like look
Be
after.
adult.
Yeah, the
Somebody-
responsible
you
one.
can be
Literally, like somebody needs to be adult, and even this monk is like going over the limits and borders. Like, I'm the only one left. Oh fuck.
you can
Yeah,
be chaotic and helpful though.
I was going to actually ask you, Gabe. Do you think Boyan's arc started as a very stoic and very lawful individual, but
Yeah,
eventually
he
got
loved
changed?
chaotic.
Oh yeah, having
of the
like
group?
a very limited view of the world, obviously, where it's 12 years of just doing monk training. Like the world is the you know, center, the Cobalt Soul school or whatever, the monastery.
To inspire the question even further, do you think Boyan changed because he wanted to adapt to the group, because he felt like
Yeah,
he
that's what I
wanted
was
to be
saying
part of the
earlier.
group, or was it
That's what I
like
was saying earlier.
influenced?
I think it's
I
quite
think-
obvious. I'm the popular one, and he wanted to copy that. Kidding.
I was actually gonna say Vyacheslav, you know, changed his life. He had a huge
No, it's
Yeah, he was like- he was
your
like-
monk is like a child in a way, and just trying to copy the world. You see,
trying
right?
to teach, you know, what he could, because like I think we were all at one stage in our lives like, oh, I have like this life experience that is so unique to me, and if only everybody could experience what I know, then they would be able to understand where I'm coming from. But at the same time, it's like he's seeing all his companions having like actual fun
Yeah.
and laughing, and he's like, I want that.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's so
Boyan was one of those, like, you know, high school kids that like sees a group of people like puffing on cigarettes in the backyard, and he's like, "Do you guys mind if I join you? I'm pretty cool." And then lights a cigarette and start coughing himself
Coughing
to
like-
death.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
felt
an
like-
impressional. Yeah. But
that's how it felt to me. But I love that. I love the story arc that Boyan's like personal development took through these very few sessions.
Also, Nillian had one obvious for me. Like, started with exactly like, why the fuck do you want books to I want books by the end of it?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Got
something
some
I
pretty neat
noticed.
stuff from that book. It was
Yep.
nice spells.
I think it was like Nillian projected his chaotic energy to Boyan, and Boyan projected his stoic, lawful energy back to Nillian, is what I felt like the exchange in that alleyway was, where Boyan just told him, okay, you gotta actually focus here, and
You
because
learn from each
we could
other.
die here, so please keep it cool and try to not fuck it up like we did at the party. And I felt like Boyan projected some of his like stoicity to Nillian, is what I think happened.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I think we kind of covered it pretty good. We kind of gave more depth to the characters since it was like a short adventure.
Can I just add something? I just realized if those creatures from the tower infested the Candlekeep, Andraste would just walk in as a queen and start commanding, and she would become a ruler of Candlekeep.
She can't, because these are children. You can't control those.
No. One day, a few years later, when they all grow up.
Again,
and
I don't
That's not
think
how
that's
it
how it
works.
works.
I don't care. I'm just imagining her walking in.
It's the
Royally.
headcanon. It's the headcanon.
She would come there and be like, yes, I have one ring to rule them all, and then nothing happens. But
I
magically,
am
some of
the
these kids will
Skitteridge
listen to you.
queen.
Magically, they'll listen to you because you're so charismatic. You got panache to like charm them, and you're like, yes, I'm your queen.
Yeah, that'd
I
be
love
fun.
it.
That'd be funny.
The
Like
part when-
she thinks like the ring does it, but she's actually doing it on her own, and she like
Magic
goes,
is
she,
inside.
she like goes, hey Samael, could you like just put this ring on? I just have to go for like a day or two. Like they'll be fine. They'll listen to you.
Oh.
That's
Uh,
a
it's
little
like-
bit worse.
I would probably handle that, to be honest.
In some, yeah, you have other skills. You would handle it in the other way.
But
But I was like, I enjoyed when Davor asked about how many times can she do that, and it's
Yeah,
panache. I can do it
infinite.
all the time. It's one action.
Yeah, I have to DM. I have to ask some you know. I don't know.
It's
She'd be so
okay.
How
I
could she be
felt
so
pretty
charismatic?
OP. Yeah, like
The thing about that is that Rogue gets such high skills, so
Yeah.
making that skill check is very impossible to fail. Unless the creature, but most of the creatures are even immune to charm, so it would not work.
yeah, but
But-
it uses my proficiency modifier.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Which
It's your
is-
skill.
It's expertise, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I can't fail that.
Yeah, unless the creature is immune to charm, which most creatures are at that level. But yeah,
What would be?
I
It would.
mean-
It would be like plus. What? Like 12.
9, I think, or something.
It's like I think it was +9 or 8
Yeah,
at
nine,
least.
you're higher
yes.
level, so.
But my stealth was +13.
I mean,
Yeah,
yes,
that's expertise.
if
with
you were
your-
like level 11, you could not roll below a 10, so it would always be a 19, because it's considered an ability check, and Rogue has reliable talent
Yeah.
that in skills that you're proficient always count
I'm
as a
lucky I
10.
was level 9. Although I never tried to charm the skitter widgets because
Ah,
Wouldn't work.
too late now. Devil,
actually,
I, w-
oh, please go ahead.
I wanted to ask you before we fully wrap up some of your favorite moments.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of, well, all of it was my favorite moment. It's like because when you're DMing, when you're DMing, it's like you're telling a story with your friends, and I kind of have trouble picking one of those.
We can rephrase that question. If you don't have any favorite moments, what was I would say like a top moment from all of the characters that surprised you that you did not expect would happen from all of us?
Well, that from you, it was like almost. I mean, the thing that surprised me there was like just I'm gonna take the golems in my hands. Sure, you can do that. For Boyan, there's the stuff that surprised me first was like I knew you could run up. I was semi expecting that, but I was not like real sure if you're gonna go through that route. So it kind of the bravery of Boyan kind of maybe surprised me a bit. Like because you didn't know what, because you don't know what's behind those doors, and I'm just going.
yeah, screw.
Yeah.
I'm like, could I die going through the tower? Maybe, but probably not.
But, and with that moment, I was like so grateful that I did the map. I did map out the whole tower, because if I did not, if I was just expecting
Yeah, if
you
didn't
guys,
prepare it for the first session.
because I was like, a normal I mean, some other DM might expect, oh, they're gonna go on this first floor and then make their way up. But no, this group went from the top. So,
Yeah, if they like, you gotta maybe not expect, but be ready if they're in a place and there's a possibility that they go not just one of the places that are available.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Yeah. I don't know, for Samael, this is Josip's first time playing. I don't know if you guys caught that. This was and already on camera. I mean, that's probably not a good idea for any.
And the caster.
Yeah,
It was a lot. Like I DM'd before. I was never a player.
Come on, it's not that hard.
I really liked that he was like he went for it. He went out singing, so he tried it. That's really
Literally.
that's
The
not.
eye of the tiger.
Is the thrill of the fight rising up? to the challenge of rivals.
And
the other
I just hate that I didn't commit. That's the worst part because I just gave up halfway through it because I fucked up the words and I wrote them out, which is the worst part.
No, it was good.
It was good, dude. Like it was planned. It's chaos crew in a nutshell.
Chaos Crew, exactly.
I liked the other song that you did too.
It was you sang on the first one. You sang "Hit 'em with your best shot" to Andraste.
And that was for healing. That Gabe actually just gave it to me with.
Never gonna give you up. Was
yeah, never gonna give you up. I also had one for Andraste if it came up, but it didn't come up.
Which one? Can I know? Spoil it for me. Come on, you can do it.
Okay. Stab through the heart, and you're too late. You give charm a bad name.
Oh, I love it.
That one.
Because every time you charm someone, you just stab them afterwards. Every time.
Of course.
Yeah.
The whole plan for Samael as a character for me was like, he is a lovable asshole, but can be super terrifying if he wants to.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I mean, the people who knew him, and you would probably do, that's all big lie. He's just like shitting his pants the whole time, but he's just like, I got the looks for it, so I use it.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like, I don't know what I wrote.
It's about the image.
Oh, did you break up,
Yeah,
Davor?
your video's off though.
Yep.
Because-
I saw this before.
Like me, I personally didn't know Josip before all of this, but that day when we discussed, we stayed for like one more hour, and we like discussed all the weird and crazy shit combos we can pull off for just shits and giggles.
Yep.
And for that point, I knew this was going to be a piss show. It's going to be
We ended
weird.
up such weird shit. People like laughing like idiots.
Yeah, I felt like really felt like Samael is his wingman, his buddy that he can confide in.
Not gonna go up, I'm not sure. Just wanted to repeat that for Dora, she surprised me with the protector type play, and I actually kind of did not notice that until we had this discussion today, because she reminded me of the mother thing, and it's actually coming maybe like mama bear thing, to like jump in and like protect her fellow party members. So that's
Mostly
actually,
in combat.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thankful.
She hides it. She hides it, but she would help rather than just go crazy and do whatever.
I mean, you know, I don't know if anyone here knows about One Piece, the anime/manga.
I
know
haven't seen
about
it. I
it,
know
but-
about it. Yeah.
The moments they mentioned pirates, you mentioned pirates, and I was completely on board, and I was like, I'm a bard, because I just went full on One Piece, because it's just story about pirates, and I was just like, okay, yep, we're going with that. That's what I was completely on board from the start.
Nice. Pirates is an awesome thing.
I would have loved to see like this group actually go to Darktoe and seeing if they can survive whatever
I
Darktoe
could
has to offer.
actually make a lot more sense there, because I can fuck with people's heads a lot.
Would you
Like-
guys like play these characters, this party composition for like a long campaign? Does it feel like it has potential for a long campaign, or is it like better to like do that?
I mean, if you asked me 2 days ago, I would say yes, but I already dedicated her
I'm not.
to
I'm not.
another one.
So okay.
No, he's not asking that.
I'm not asking you to. Let's do it.
Oh,
I'm
you're not
just asking-
offering. You're just
Yeah,
hypothetically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally, I did. Just yesterday I dedicated her for Brov's campaign.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm gonna play her.
Nice.
I think for this exact party, the only thing is either I would have to pick up more healing spells, or we would need the healer, actually.
Yeah.
or a lot of potions.
No, I
It's
can tank
fine.
a little bit. I just didn't because
Because healing word is not enough, like we almost witnessed.
Don't worry. There's no need for that. I think
I mean-
we're perfectly
I
fine.
mean, as long as we fight humanoids, we're fine because I can fuck with them. When we're on monsters, count me out.
That's where
Yeah, I
you
get
become
that.
a monkey.
Oh, actually, yeah. And we both have polymorph. We can all be monkeys.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay, my camera went back on, so but we're probably, I think we now covered most of the things we wanted. Off.
The camera needs some rakia.
Okay.
Well,
it's
Lilian
on,
could
it's
cover
on.
his ass as well, but
So let's do the outro because my camera is working right now. So-
thumbnail shot.
Okay, I don't know.
I have
Most of those out and figure out a perfect freeze frame for all the different cameras.
So thank you guys for watching us and for watching this. I hope it's helpful. Just the last thought I had maybe for the DMs out there that are trying to run these kind of adventures or these particular adventures from the Candlekeep thing. Don't be afraid to maybe use some of your own stuff, put it in, like I put those gremlins in, because I kind of thought I want to make them a little bit more confused than they already are.
That was very confusing, to be honest.
Perfect.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
whole time I was like,
and
I forgot
It
about
gave
it every
us a
time,
kind of a
and they just
comic
poof again. Oh yeah.
comedic.
and what I would recommend also to the dungeon masters is talk about the adventure beforehand, because the thing that made this work, although I did find that people the recommendations about Candlekeep, some of them don't recommend the Candlekeep Dekonstruktion. It's like 50-50. Like, oh, it's a great adventure, and it's not that great. So the thing is, if you explain to your players what are you playing, like vaguely at least, like it's gonna be fast-paced, it's gonna be a little bit cartoonish, and a little bit funny.
No, maybe say no time to rest, probably.
yeah.
Because I would pick
We
very
did.
different spells. If
No,
we-
he did.
I think
Yeah, he did. We would have picked very different spells if I didn't know.
Yeah, when Josip went to me with his spells, I told him like this takes an hour to cast. I'm probably not gonna be able to use it. So some pointers, just to make it easier for the players, especially if you're not playing through all of it. If you're just picking an adventure and going.
I feel like one of the biggest tips as well is to not make a very old like fantasy grind and style party. Just go with something fun, something you didn't like.
Yeah.
You wanted to try out but never got to. I think this adventure is perfect for you because combat-wise, it's not hard.
Yeah.
And there's very, very little risk that your characters will die. We had very little healing, but somehow we managed to survive. So I think just going with that cartoonish theme of like party creation, I think would be more enjoyable for everyone, because if you make very powerful characters, you'll probably get through this in like 2 hours.
Yeah, and there are also some adventures that are more like intrigue based, so maybe pick some, socially skilled characters for those. And there are grinds, like you mentioned, so, whatever floats your boat. Just make sure you kind of explain it to the characters, to players. And, as I said, thank you for watching. Stay nice to each other, wash your hands.
Not with super glue.
Not with glue, yeah.
Not with glue.
Not with glue.
And let's keep it rolling, guys.
Subscribe or I will punch you in the throat.
Leave a like.
Perfect.